Hello my scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel for another Stash Bash Take 10 in the month of July that I do with my crafty friends Shannon and Megan. I know I didn't post a video for the month of July or the very first Monday of July, and this is why. And you're probably going, this is kind of looking very familiar to me. And that is because you are correct. This was last month of June's kit, and I was about ready to put all of these little tiny scraps that you see here. I kind of have it separated for a reason, and that's to get started on this layout, but all these little scraps back into my stash. And I was like, no, I can't do this. This is going to drive me crazy. I don't want this sitting in my stash for another 5 years. So I will show you really quickly. Here's some more bigger pieces of That's My Boys collection. I mean, this is it. And these are the papers that I've kind of added to it. Some are from the original June kit. Some were in the emergency section of my little box that I use from IKEA, my little organizer. But I really just want to get these used up. I don't want them in my stash. I don't want them going back into my stash if I can help it after this month. So that is my goal, is to really tackle all the little pieces. I don't care if I have a full 12 by 12, that doesn't bother me. But these little pieces and these pieces right here, if I can, I want to get them used up. So I did one thing last kit, because I don't do a kill a kit or what's left over a kit. I should probably start though for you guys, but I did put everything that was over here onto this layout, and I'm trying to keep all the stickers intact so that way nothing falls out, and keep them in a little Ziploc baggie. But this is all that I have left. So I can, like I said, I condensed it down to one sheet, and all I did was move the outer layer so that way I had more area, and I kind of moved some over to get the rest of the actual stickers onto the page. So anyways, I just have this, and I just, like I said, I just want to use this up. So let's go ahead and get started. I am gonna start, like I said, using up these scraps. This is the photo I'm going to use. This is, I believe, the only card left that I have in this collection. And here is what I'm going to use. I bought this because I was really looking for hexagon dies. This thing is ginormous. I actually didn't realize what I was buying, but it has all the sizes that I need. So my goal is to kind of have hexagons going around this. So let's see what I come up with, okay? Let's put you on fast forward.
All right, I thought I was going to use that distressed white background paper because I was going to be punching out a lot of hexagons from a lot of different pattern papers, and I did not want it to be too busy to the eye. But instead, you'll see what I do later on, but then I move on to the hexagons. Now, this is how it was a deciding factor for me. I picked not the smallest hexagon, but the one above that, and then the one above that one, and you'll see me nestle them together just to make sure I did grab the right hexagons. And that allowed me to punch out the smallest scraps first. So I mean, if I showed you what I had left, I mean, it was like amazing, guys. There was tiny little corner pieces. Like, you know me, I will get as much as I can out of those scraps. So then I kind of did the same thing for the title. I wasn't paying attention to what pattern papers I was going to use first. I went from which are the next step bigger size of scraps, and then use them to back up the title. And then there's the title dude. Now that cut file came from Paper Issues, and it was supposed to read, well, it's all geared for boys, and it actually originally said my cool dude, but you're going to see what I'm going to do here in a minute. Now there's that pattern paper. You guys all know me. I don't care when something's made. I will dig in my inventory till I find the paper that I want to use. In this case, it was from Pebbles from 2002, guys. I didn't even know Pebbles was around then. I knew Bo Bunny was, but I had no idea about Pebbles. So anyways, I am then going to position all the hexagons. Now I know there's going to be some bigger gaps and some smaller gaps because I went with two different sizes, and I'm okay with that. But I am going to realize that it's off balance, and that means whatever I have on the left is not on the right. So here I go, cutting out more of the hexagons. And in fact, you see that, remember that 4x6 card I had in the beginning, the one that is matting that photo? I even punched out hexagons underneath that. And I thought I was going to use the multicolored diamonds that you see, which I am going to use, but I ended up loving the flip side of it where it was all those words, but yet you don't know what it really says. I really love the look of that, and so I'm going to incorporate those ones as well. Next, I grabbed my Lawn Fawn ink in gray, and I'm just going to ink the edges. I love using my my sponges by Tim Holtz to ink the edges for my paper. My brushes that I just recently got, I'm sure a lot of you saw that video. Those blender brushes are mostly for my stencils because I don't want to ruin my stencils like I have in the past using those sponges. All right, so even some of my hexagons are not a complete hexagon. Those are the ones that, well, I just have only one, but that one is going to be positioned underneath the photo so you can't see it. So here I was like, I love having those ones where it's part of the words that you can't really read. I want one more of those. And so again, I like squeezed it in as much as I could so that way there was no peekaboo hexagons underneath that photo. All right, so after I get done with that, I also realized I didn't have another one of those like aqua ones with the stars, and it's a baseball and a basketball. I don't know if you can tell, it's on the left-hand side there. So I'm going to create another one, and that will be on the right. Now you see that gap between both on the left and the right hand side towards the bottom, closer to the picture. That is an awkward gap. Now I could have fixed that by adding more hexagons, but then that would have just created another funky look, and then I would have had to just complete the hexagon pattern all the way down, and that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start adhering it down. Now one thing I've recently started doing, because a couple years ago I finished my daughter and my son's very first year album, and I was using the dot runner, and I really don't want to have to go through what I'm going through now, which is every once in a while I'll grab a page and start using tacky glue. So now I use the ATG gun for my photos and the tacky glue for everything else. Now you're probably wondering, Desiree, what was the signs that you were doing? Then you got two O's, or what looked like two O's. Well, you know how we Frankenstein foam thickers? Why do I do this to myself when I'm filming? I should have done like a test run, but I cut one, and then I was like, ooh, okay, that didn't turn out right. Well, let me cut another one, and that didn't turn out right either. So that when I tried to cut off the tail of the Q, it cut the O looking shape. So I glued it all down with tacky glue. And then because I thought I had this idea of, well, let me just layer up the titles and I'll cover it up. And when I put the first two letters down, I was like, oh, I don't like that. Well, I try to lift my Frankenstein O, but because I used tacky glue, it's down. I ended up ripping the page, and I thought, oh no, I'm committed. Yep, y'all gonna see this now. So I just went with it, finished off with what I originally wanted to do, and it actually turned out perfect. My eye just only saw two letters, and that's where I just couldn't get past it. But once I saw it completed, then my eye could just say, yes, it is completed. It looks a lot better. All right, so now I'm going to glue down the title, and now it reads Our Cheese Dude versus the original title, which was My Cool Dude, and that is because my son, he was so cute. He loved any kind of cheese, including one time I saw him get into the kitchen, dump Parmesan cheese into a bowl, and he was just eating it when he was a little baby. And I was like, what? So yeah, to this day, he still loves cheese. So Our Cheese Dude was perfect. And then going to add my boy on there of an embellishment from Elle Studios, and then the sticker that is also from the That's My Boy collection that says, so happy when I'm with you. And that's it, everybody. That is going to be my layout. I'm going to try a couple other things, but end up sticking with just this. So I just want to say, if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing. I would love to have you over here. Be sure to check out Shan and Megan. I'll leave their links below to their channel. I apologize it didn't come up, like I said, by Monday, but next Monday, I promise you, it will be up on my channel. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and you all have a wonderful day. Bye.